On the border of the Orion sector, the human exploration vessel Intrepid was on a routine patrol when an unexpected signal disrupted the quiet monotony of their journey. The ship's sensors picked up a faint, intermittent distress signal that seemed to come from an ancient, nearly forgotten channel used by long-lost civilizations. Captain John Mercer, a seasoned officer with a keen sense for adventure and danger, was immediately intrigued. "Helm, bring us to full stop," he ordered, his voice calm but commanding. The bridge crew, well versed in his ways, snapped to attention. "Commander Liu, what can you make of that signal?" Mercer asked, turning to his first officer. Liu, a methodical and analytical mind, was already analyzing the data streaming in. "It's definitely an old distress beacon, sir. The technology is unfamiliar, possibly pre-Galactic Union," Liu reported, his eyes narrowing at the data. "But it's definitely a call for help." Mercer nodded, his decision already made. "Helm, set a course for the source of that signal. Best speed." The crew moved with practiced efficiency, the hum of the engines increasing as the Intrepid surged forward. As the ship approached the coordinates, the source of the signal became clear. It was an alien vessel, massive and ancient, drifting aimlessly in the black void. The ship's hull was scarred and pitted, signs of a violent encounter etched into its surface. The distress beacon flickered weakly, a lone voice in the emptiness. "Prepare a boarding party," Mercer ordered. "We need to find out what happened here and offer any assistance we can." A team of heavily armed Marines, led by Lieutenant Maria Hayes, assembled in the hangar bay. Hayes, a battle-hardened veteran with a no-nonsense attitude, briefed her squad quickly and efficiently. "Stay sharp, everyone. We don't know what's waiting for us over there." The Marines, clad in advanced exosuits designed for both combat and environmental hazards, boarded the shuttle that would take them to the alien vessel. The shuttle's engines roared to life, and it smoothly detached from the Intrepid making its way towards the derelict ship. As they neared, the scale of the alien vessel became apparent. It dwarfed their shuttle, a behemoth of unknown origin and purpose. The shuttle docked with a metallic clang, and the airlock hissed as it equalized pressure with the alien ship. The Marines moved in, weapons at the ready. The corridors of the ship were dark and silent, illuminated only by the beams of their tactical lights. The air was thick with the smell of burnt metal and something else, something unsettlingly organic. "Report any movement," Hayes instructed, her voice steady despite the eerie surroundings. The team advanced cautiously, scanning every shadow and corner. The further they went, the more evidence they found of a brutal conflict. Walls were scorched, panels ripped open, and strange, viscous fluids stained the floor. Yet there were no bodies, only the silent remnants of a battle fought and lost. "Looks like whatever happened here, it was bad," Corporal Jenkins muttered, his eyes darting nervously. Hayes nodded in agreement but kept her focus on the mission. As they reached the heart of the ship, they encountered a sealed chamber. Hayes signaled for the demolition expert to breach the door. A few tense moments later, the door gave way with a loud crack, revealing a small, dimly lit room. Inside, they found a single occupant, a small, terrified alien child. She was huddled in the corner, clutching a stuffed toy that remarkably resembled a human dog. Her eyes, large and filled with fear, looked up at the Marines with a mix of hope and terror. Lieutenant Hayes lowered her weapon, approaching slowly. "It's okay," she said softly, trying to appear as non-threatening as possible. "We're here to help." The child didn't move, her grip on the toy tightening. Hayes signaled for the team medic to step forward. "Let's get her back to the Intrepid. We need to find out what happened here and who she is." Dr. Carter's gentle demeanor helped ease Lyra's anxiety. She spoke soothing words, even though the language barrier was formidable. The child's eyes darted around the sterile environment, filled with fear and curiosity. Lyra clung tightly to her stuffed toy, a comfort amidst the chaos. Captain Mercer arrived in the medical bay, his presence commanding yet calm. He observed the scene with a mixture of concern and curiosity. "How is she, Doctor?" he asked, his voice low to avoid startling the child. "Physically, she's fine," Dr. Carter replied, her eyes never leaving Lyra. "But she's clearly traumatized. Whatever happened on that ship was horrifying. Mercer nodded, his mind racing with the implications. We need to find a way to communicate with her. She might be the key to understanding what happened and who attacked her ship. As Lyra was settled into a secure and comfortable room, the crew of the Intrepid gathered in the briefing room. The mood was tense, opinions divided on how to handle their unexpected guest. "We can't just assume she's harmless," said Chief Security Officer Tom Reynolds, his voice firm. "We know nothing about her or her species." "She's just a child," countered Dr. Carter, her tone sharp. "She's scared and alone. We have a duty to help her." Captain Mercer listened to both sides, his expression thoughtful. "We need to strike a balance," he said finally. "We'll keep her under observation, but we must also try to communicate with her and understand her situation." Commander Liu, always the diplomat, suggested using the ship's AI to assist in deciphering Lyra's language. The AI, equipped with advanced linguistic algorithms, could potentially bridge the gap. The process was slow and painstaking. Dr. Carter spent countless hours with Lyra, showing her pictures, objects, and using gestures to create a basic understanding. The child was quick to learn, her fear gradually giving way to curiosity. As the days passed, Lyra began to trust Dr. Carter, seeing her as a protector. She started to speak in her own language, and the AI worked tirelessly to translate. Words and phrases started to emerge, providing glimpses into her tragic story. Meanwhile, tension simmered among the crew. Some viewed Lyra as a valuable asset, while others saw her as a potential threat. The divide was palpable, affecting daily operations and interactions. One evening, a breakthrough occurred. Lyra managed to convey a coherent sentence, thanks to the AI's assistance. "Bad ones took my family," she said, tears welling in her eyes. The room fell silent, the gravity of her words sinking in. Captain Mercer leaned forward, his expression resolute. "We need to learn more about these bad ones and find out why they attacked her ship." The translation process accelerated, and soon Lyra was able to provide more details. She spoke of her family, their peaceful existence, and the sudden, brutal attack by a species she called the Vexus. Her descriptions of the Vexus sent chills down the spines of the crew, ruthless, powerful, and seemingly unstoppable. The more Lyra shared, the clearer it became that the Vexus were a threat not only to her people, but potentially to the entire galaxy. The Intrepid had inadvertently stumbled upon a much larger conflict, one that could have dire consequences for humanity and their allies. As the crew grappled with this new information, Captain Mercer made a decision. "We have to find out more about the Vexus. Lyra's information is invaluable, and we need to prepare for what might come. Dr. Carter, keep working with her. The rest of us will start planning our next move." With the help of the ship's AI, Dr. Carter continued her efforts to communicate with Lyra. The progress was slow but steady, and they were finally able to establish a rudimentary form of communication. Lyra's language was intricate, filled with nuances that required careful interpretation. Captain Mercer, eager to gather more information about the Vexus, joined one of their sessions. "Lyra," he said gently, "can you tell us more about the Vexus? Why did they attack your family?" Lyra's eyes filled with a mixture of fear and sadness. "Vexus, they want power," she said, her voice trembling. "They destroy everything. My family, we were peaceful. They came, killed many." Dr. Carter placed a comforting hand on Lyra's shoulder, encouraging her to continue. "Do you know why they targeted your people specifically?" Lyra nodded, clutching her stuffed toy tightly. "We had something they wanted, technology, knowledge. My people are skilled in building and creating. Vexus want to use it for war." Captain Mercer exchanged a grim look with Dr. Carter. The implications were clear. The Vexus were not just a threat to Lyra's people, but potentially to all civilizations they encountered. "We need to learn more about their tactics and weaknesses," Mercer said, his tone resolute. "Lyra, can you help us with that?" Lyra hesitated, then nodded slowly. "I can try, but they are very strong. Many ships, many weapons." Realizing the gravity of the situation, Captain Mercer convened a meeting with his senior staff. The briefing room was filled with tense energy as he addressed the crew. "Based on what Lyra has told us, the Vexus pose a significant threat not just to her people, but potentially to the entire galaxy, Mercer began. We need to prepare for the possibility of encountering them and, if necessary, engaging them in battle. Lieutenant Hayes, always ready for a fight, nodded in agreement. We need to upgrade our defenses and train for potential encounters with the Vexus. We can't afford to be caught off guard. Dr. Carter, ever the voice of reason, added, We should also reach out to the Galactic Union. They need to be aware of this threat. Lyra's information could be crucial in rallying support and forming alliances. The crew set to work, their focus sharpened by the looming threat. Engineers worked tirelessly to upgrade the ship's weapons and shields, while the Marines conducted rigorous training exercises to prepare for potential combat scenarios. At the same time, communications officers sent encrypted messages to the Galactic Union, detailing the Vexus threat and requesting assistance. As the days passed, the crew's efforts began to pay off. They received a response from the Galactic Union, acknowledging the threat and promising to send reinforcements. Meanwhile, Lyra continued to provide valuable insights into the Vexus's tactics and strategies. One evening during a routine patrol, the Intrepid encountered a small Vexus scout ship. The tension on the bridge was palpable as the crew prepared for their first direct encounter with the enemy. Captain Mercer ordered the ship to battle stations, and the crew moved with practiced efficiency. The Vexus ship, sleek and menacing, opened fire as soon as they were within range. The Intrepid returned fire and a fierce battle ensued. The crew's training and upgrades proved invaluable as they managed to outmaneuver the Vexus and disable their ship. After the battle, the crew gathered to assess the situation. The encounter had been a sobering reminder of the Vexus's strength and ruthlessness, but it had also shown that they were capable of holding their own. We did well today, Captain Mercer said, his voice filled with determination. But this is just the beginning. We need to stay vigilant and be ready for whatever comes next. The shared experience of facing a common enemy began to unite the crew. Trust and camaraderie grew stronger as they realized the importance of working together to face the Vexus threat. Lyra, now seen as a valuable ally, continued to earn the respect and admiration of the crew. Captain Mercer stood on the bridge, his gaze fixed on the stars ahead. Commander Liu, any sign of Vexus activity? Liu, seated at the sensor station, scanned the data intently. Nothing yet, Captain, but if Lyra's information is correct, we should be nearing one of their patrol routes. Suddenly, the ship's alarms blared, and the lights dimmed to red. Incoming vessels detected, Leo reported. Multiple Vexus ships closing fast. All hands to battle stations, Mercer ordered. The crew moved swiftly, manning their posts with the efficiency born of countless drills and preparations. The main view screen flickered to life, displaying the approaching Vexus fleet. 3 sleek, heavily armed ships bore down on the Intrepid their intentions unmistakably hostile. Engage evasive maneuvers, Mercer commanded. Prepare to return fire. The Intrepid danced through space, its advanced thrusters and newly upgraded shields allowing it to dodge the initial volley of Vexus fire. The ship's weapon systems came online, and a barrage of laser fire and missiles erupted from its turrets, striking the lead Vexus ship. The battle was fierce and chaotic. The Vexus ships coordinated their attacks with ruthless precision, attempting to overwhelm the Intrepid from multiple angles. The crew responded with equal determination, their training and recent upgrades proving invaluable in the heat of combat. Lieutenant Hayes led a team of Marines to repel boarders as one of the Vexus ships attempted to latch onto the Intrepid. The corridors echoed with the sounds of gunfire and the clash of blades as the Marines fought to defend their ship. On the bridge, Mercer monitored the battle with a steely resolve. Focus fire on their engines, he instructed. We need to cripple their mobility. The Intrepid's gunners aimed with precision, targeting the vulnerable engines of the Vexus ships. One by one, the enemy vessels faltered, their movements growing sluggish and erratic. Sensing victory, Mercer ordered a final, concentrated strike. The lead Vexus ship exploded in a brilliant flash of light, sending debris scattering through space. The remaining ships, crippled and unable to continue the fight, retreated into the darkness, their threat temporarily neutralized. The victory in the first skirmish had not gone unnoticed. As the Intrepid resumed its patrols, they received a distress signal from a nearby asteroid belt. The signal was weak and garbled, but it was clearly a call for help. Captain Mercer ordered the ship to investigate. As they navigated through the dense field of rocks and debris, they came upon a hidden Vexus base, its presence previously undetected. "Looks like we found the source of the distress signal," Mercer said, studying the base on the view screen. "Prepare a boarding party. We need to find out who's calling for help." Lieutenant Hayes led the team once again, their shuttle weaving through the asteroid field and docking with the Vexus base. The interior of the base was a stark contrast to the derelict ship where they had found Lyra. It was functional and oppressive, designed purely for efficiency and control. As they moved through the base, they encountered signs of a recent struggle. Vexus guards lay dead, their bodies bearing the marks of energy weapons and melee combat. The Marines proceeded cautiously, their senses heightened. In a large central chamber, they found a group of survivors. Aliens from various species, all looking battered and exhausted. Among them was Tark, a tall, imposing warrior with deep blue skin and piercing yellow eyes. He stepped forward, his expression a mixture of relief and wariness. "Who are you?" Hayes asked, her weapon lowered but ready. Tark spoke with a deep, resonant voice. "I am Tark of the Acarian people. We were prisoners of the Vexus, forced to work on their war machines. We managed to rebel and send out a distress signal, hoping for rescue." Hayes nodded, her respect for the alien growing. "You're safe now. We're here to help." Tark's eyes softened with gratitude. "Thank you. We have valuable information about the Vexus and their operations. We wish to join you in the fight against them." Back on the Intrepid Tark and the other survivors were given medical treatment and a chance to rest. Tark shared his knowledge with Captain Mercer and the senior staff, providing critical insights into the Vexus's plans and capabilities. The addition of Tark and his fellow survivors to the crew brought a new sense of purpose and urgency. They were more than just allies. They were a testament to the growing resistance against the Vexus. Their presence underscored the importance of unity and cooperation in the face of a common enemy. Captain Mercer addressed the crew once more, his voice filled with conviction. "Today we gained new allies and valuable intelligence. Our fight against the Vexus is far from over, but with each victory we grow stronger. Together we will stand against this threat and protect our galaxy." The Intrepid continued its mission with renewed determination, its crew united by the shared goal of defeating the Vexus and ensuring a future where all species could live in peace and freedom. With new allies on board, the Intrepid's mission took on an even greater sense of urgency. The crew, now bolstered by Tark and other survivors, dedicated themselves to rigorous training and preparation. Each day brought a new challenge, and the ship buzzed with activity. Lieutenant Hayes organized intensive drills, integrating the new alien allies into the Marine squads. The training sessions were grueling but necessary, fostering camaraderie and mutual respect. Tark, with his combat experience and strategic mind, quickly became an invaluable asset, sharing Acarian techniques that enhanced the Marines' effectiveness. In the engineering bay, Chief Engineer Samantha Ortiz worked closely with the alien survivors to upgrade the ship's systems. The Acarians, with their advanced knowledge of Vexus technology, provided insights that led to significant improvements in the Intrepid's defenses and weaponry. The collaboration was seamless, driven by a shared goal of survival and victory. Dr. Carter continued to work with Lyra, deepening their understanding of her species and the Vexus. Lyra, growing more comfortable with her surroundings, began to assist in small ways, her technical prowess surprising even the seasoned engineers. Her presence served as a constant reminder of the stakes they were fighting for. Captain Mercer, ever the strategist, held regular briefings to discuss tactics and intelligence. The information provided by Tark and the other survivors proved crucial, revealing the Vexus's vulnerabilities and strategic weaknesses. Plans were drawn, simulations run, and contingencies prepared. One evening, during a particularly intense training session, Hayes called for a break and gathered the Marines and their new allies. "We're not just training to fight," she said, her voice carrying through the room. "We're training to win. Each of you brings something unique to this fight, and together, we're unstoppable." Her words resonated deeply, strengthening the bond between the crew and their allies. The sense of unity and purpose grew stronger with each passing day, forging a formidable force ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Captain Mercer gathered his senior staff in the briefing room, the atmosphere tense with anticipation. "We can't ignore this," he said, his voice resolute. "If the Vexus take Arcadia, they'll have a strong foothold to launch further attacks." Commander Liu analyzed the transmission data, confirming its authenticity. "We have to move quickly. The colony's defenses won't hold for long against a full-scale Vexus assault." The decision was unanimous. The Intrepid set course for Arcadia at maximum speed, the crew bracing for the battle ahead. Along the way, they refined their strategies, using the intelligence gathered from Tark and the other survivors to prepare for the Vexus onslaught. As they neared Arcadia, the scale of the Vexus invasion became clear. Dozens of enemy ships orbited the colony, their ominous presence a stark contrast to the serene planet below. The colony's distress signals grew more frantic, underscoring the urgency of their mission. "Prepare for combat," Mercer ordered, his voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. "We'll need to punch through their defenses and provide support to the colony's ground forces." The Intrepid launched into action, its advanced weaponry lighting up the space around them. The initial exchange was brutal, with the Vexus ships responding with overwhelming force. The Intrepid's upgraded shields and weapons held strong, allowing them to carve a path through the enemy lines. On the ground, the situation was dire. Vexus troops had breached the colony's defenses, and fierce battles raged in the streets. The Intrepid deployed shuttles carrying Marines and their new allies, including Tark, to reinforce the beleaguered defenders. Lieutenant Hayes led the charge, her Marines fighting with unparalleled determination. Tark's strategic acumen and combat prowess turned the tide in several key skirmishes, rallying the colony's forces and pushing back the Vexus invaders. In the skies above, Captain Mercer coordinated the space battle, targeting key Vexus ships and exploiting the weaknesses revealed by their intelligence. The combined efforts of the Intrepid and the colony's defenders began to turn the tide, the Vexus fleet faltering under the relentless assault. Despite their fierce resistance, the battle was far from over. The Vexus, realizing the tide was turning against them, unleashed a massive counterattack. The Intrepid and its allies braced for the onslaught, determined to defend Arcadia at all costs. The Vexus counterattack was swift and brutal, their forces surging forward in a desperate attempt to reclaim the upper hand. The Intrepid and its allies fought valiantly, but the sheer numbers of the Vexus began to take their toll. Captain Mercer directed the ship's firepower with precision, targeting the Vexus's key command vessels to sow confusion in their ranks. On the ground, Lieutenant Hayes and Tark led the Marines and colony defenders in a series of coordinated strikes, using guerrilla tactics to ambush Vexus patrols and disrupt their supply lines. The fighting was intense and relentless, each street and building becoming a battleground. In the midst of the chaos, Dr. Carter and a team of medics set up a field hospital to tend to the wounded. Lyra, despite her young age, insisted on helping, her knowledge of Vexus technology proving invaluable in treating injuries caused by their weapons. Her presence lifted the spirits of the defenders, her bravery a beacon of hope. As the battle raged on, Captain Mercer received a critical piece of intelligence from Tark. The Vexus were using a mobile command center hidden within a heavily fortified structure on the outskirts of the colony. Taking out this command center could cripple the Vexus's ability to coordinate their forces and turn the tide of the battle. "Hayes, we need to take out that command center," Mercer said over the comms. "It's our best shot at breaking their hold." "Understood, Captain," Hayes replied. "We're on it." Inside the command center, the Vexus officers were caught off guard by the sudden assault. Hayes and her team fought their way to the central control room, planting explosives on key systems. The Vexus responded with fierce resistance, but the determination of the human and alien allies proved too much. As the explosives detonated, the command center erupted in a series of explosions, sending shockwaves through the Vexus ranks. Their coordination faltered, and the tide of the battle began to shift decisively in favor of the defenders. The intrepid capitalized on the chaos, launching a final, devastating assault on the remaining Vexus ships. The skies above Arcadia lit up with the fiery remnants of the Vexus fleet. The ground forces, now disorganized and leaderless, were swiftly defeated by the combined might of the colony's defenders and the Intrepid's marines. The battle for Arcadia was won, but the cost had been high. The aftermath of the battle left the colony of Arcadia scarred and battered. The streets were lined with debris and the wounded, a stark reminder of the brutal conflict that had raged only hours before. The Intrepid's crew, alongside the colony's survivors, began the arduous task of rebuilding and tending to the needs of the injured and displaced. Dr. Carter and her medics worked tirelessly in the field hospital, their efforts now focused on saving lives rather than fighting. Lyra continued to assist, her empathy and knowledge providing comfort and aid to those who needed it most. Her actions had earned her the respect and admiration of the entire crew and colony. Captain Mercer convened a meeting with his senior staff and the leaders of the colony to assess the situation. "We've won a significant victory here," he began, "but we can't afford to become complacent. The Vexus will undoubtedly retaliate, and we need to be ready." Tark, who had proven himself as a capable leader and strategist, spoke up. "We need to fortify our defenses and prepare for the next attack, but we also need to spread the word about what happened here. Other colonies and ships need to be warned and prepared." Mercer nodded in agreement. "We'll send out a message to the Galactic Union, detailing the battle and the Vexus threat. We need to rally support and build alliances if we're to stand a chance against them." As the message was sent out, the Intrepid's crew continued their efforts to aid the colony. The bond between the humans and their new alien allies grew stronger, forged in the crucible of battle. The shared experience of defending Arcadia had united them in a way few had expected. Despite the victory, the losses weighed heavily on everyone's hearts. The names of the fallen were honored in a solemn ceremony, their sacrifices a poignant reminder of the price of peace. Lyra, standing alongside Dr. Carter and Captain Mercer, shed silent tears for those lost, her resolve to fight for a better future strengthening with each passing moment. In the days that followed, reinforcements from the Galactic Union began to arrive, bringing much-needed supplies and additional troops. The sight of Allied ships in the sky lifted the spirits of the colony's defenders, a tangible sign that they were not alone in their fight. Captain Mercer stood on the bridge of the Intrepid looking out at the busy scene below. "We've won a battle, but the war is far from over," he said to his crew. "We must remain vigilant and continue to stand together. The future of our galaxy depends on it." The battle for Arcadia had given the Intrepid and its crew a brief respite. But the war against the Vexus was far from over. As the Galactic Union reinforcements helped to stabilize the colony, new intelligence emerged from Tark and the other survivors about a Vexus superweapon under construction. This weapon, if completed, could devastate entire star systems and tip the balance of power irreversibly in favor of the Vexus. Captain Mercer called an urgent meeting in the briefing room. The atmosphere was charged with a mix of determination and anxiety. "We have reliable intelligence that the Vexus are building a superweapon," Mercer began, his voice steady. "If they finish it, countless lives will be at risk. We need to find it and destroy it before they can use it." Tark stepped forward, a holographic map of a distant star system appearing in the center of the room. "Our sources indicate that the weapon is being constructed on a heavily fortified asteroid in the Trelius sector. The Vexus have established a formidable defense perimeter, but there are weak points we can exploit." Lieutenant Hayes examined the map closely. "We need a two-pronged approach. A small, stealthy infiltration team to plant explosives inside the facility and a diversionary force to draw the Vexus defenses away from the real target." Dr. Carter added, "This will be incredibly dangerous. The infiltration team will need to be in and out quickly, and the diversionary force will face significant resistance. Mercer nodded. We'll split into 2 teams. Tark, you'll lead the infiltration unit with Hayes and a select group of Marines. I'll coordinate the diversionary attack from the Intrepid Asterisk. We'll synchronize our efforts to maximize the impact. With the plan set, preparations began immediately. The infiltration team trained intensively, focusing on stealth and sabotage techniques. Hayes and Tark worked closely, their respect for each other growing as they shared strategies and insights. The Intrepid's engineers, meanwhile, modified the ship's systems to enhance its offensive and defensive capabilities for the upcoming battle.